to attempt to explain here, if understood, will allow you to understand religious and esoteric texts in a way that most would never imagine is even possible. And I say that with full sincerity. It is a recurring symbol among all religions I am aware of, that the gods dwell at the top of a mountain. In Christianity, you have Mount Zion, where God is said to reside. In Greek mythology, the gods reside at the top of Mount Olympus. In Hinduism, Mount Meru is where contact with God is made. In Taoism, you have Mount Tai, and I could go on. The symbol is universal and unmistakable once noticed. In esoteric wisdom, mountains represent the human body. If you can understand how the chakras map onto the mountain framework and the corresponding mountain levels, or biomes if you will, this will unlock a profound understanding not just of religion, but of mythology, symbolism, and even modern media. The first chakra is about survival and corresponds to the base of the mountain. The base of the mountain corresponds to toil, wandering in the wilderness, dirt, and desert. Some biblical examples are the garden after the fall. From dust you came, and to dust you shall return. And the Israelites wandering in the wilderness. This maps onto many traditions. This is not to say these events did not literally happen. Symbols do not just belong in stories, they are something lived out. Next is the sacral chakra, which is about emotion and transition. This chakra is associated with water, so think of water biomes around a mountain, such as river valleys, floodplains, lakes, and fertile basins. Using the Bible again, the crossing of the Red Sea is a transition from slavery into a new identity. Another example is the River Jordan, which marks a transition into the Promised Land. Next, we have the solar plexus chakra, which is associated with fire. This is about will, control, and mastery over oneself and one's environment. This will be a harsh biome on our ascent up the mountain. If you look at Mount Sinai in Exodus, you can see storm, fire, smoke, and shaking ground representing immense pressure. Pressure is how the will is forged. Next is the heart chakra, which is about connection, compassion, and relational unity. The corresponding biomes would be green valleys, garden ecosystems, and mid-mountain tree lines where ecosystems stabilize and mix. This is where heaven and earth meet. In the Garden of Eden, humans lived in harmony with God, nature, themselves, and each other. The next chakra is the throat chakra, which is associated with communication, truth-telling, and naming reality. A biblical example would be Moses speaking the divine law to the people from Mount Sinai. The throat chakra is where revelation becomes speech. Next is the third eye chakra, which is associated with vision and revelation. An example would be Moses seeing the promised land from Mount Nebo. The seeker receives vision before reaching the summit. Lastly, we have the crown chakra, which is associated with direct encounter with God. You can see this symbolically in Christianity, with the dove descending from heaven onto the head of an individual. This is the equivalent of reaching the summit of the mountain found in many traditions. To drive the point home, Jesus was crucified at Golgotha and then resurrected, effectively being born again from the physical body. Golgotha translates as place of the skull. Whether intentional or not, the symbolism is difficult to miss. Once you begin viewing religious stories through this lens, you start to notice the same mountain pattern appearing everywhere. Wilderness, water, fire, garden, speech, vision, and finally, direct encounter with the divine.